Hey guys, what's up? Mike from CoachMikeMcDonald.com here, and welcome to today's video. But today's video, I really want to talk about the idea of you don't know what you don't know. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. If you're a replay viewer, welcome as well. Let me know where you're coming out of. I always like to hear that and see where people are coming in from, but I'm just going to share this in a couple groups here real quick. But yeah, guys, there's really 4 stages of learning when you're building your business or really want to be successful in everything, right? So there's step 1 is that you're unconsciously incompetent, basically that you don't know what you don't know, right? And then the next level from there is that you're consciously incompetent. So that basically means that you know that there's stuff that you don't know, or that you know that you're doing it wrong or you need improvement, right? So that's kind of the next level. From there, the next level you want to get to is that you're consciously competent, basically meaning that you need to focus and you need to think about doing the right things. You know what you're supposed to do, but it takes effort, it takes energy to focus on that and do that correctly. And then the highest level is basically that you're unconsciously competent, where you do the right things without really thinking about it, right? So maybe that's after a presentation, you don't say to someone, so what did you think, right? Instead, you're like, so dude, that was awesome, wasn't it? What did you like best? And then, hey, are you ready to get started? So, right, so you're following the right process, you're saying the right things, you're unconscious about it. And so again, that's the highest level that we want to get to. But where a lot of you guys are starting out at, you're on that unconsciously incompetent level where you don't know what you don't know, right? And so one thing to really keep in mind is that when you're building your business, people that are successful, people that are generating leads, people that are signing people up in their business, they have the same 24 hours a day that you do, right? So that doesn't really change. Everybody gets that same 24 hours. So it's not necessarily about how much time you have, it's how effective you are with your time. And so one thing that I've found that really made the difference for me in my business was plugging into events, plugging into training, plugging into webinars, finding a system, basically the idea of matching and modeling, right? So finding someone that has what you want, matching and modeling them, so doing what they do. If you do that long enough, you can get similar results, right? And so when I was new in my business and I was struggling and I wasn't where I wanted to be, I was doing all the wrong things, right? I was saying the wrong stuff. I was like, oh, you're going to quit your job. You're going to be a millionaire. You're going to work for me. You're going to drive cars. You're going to take trips. You're going to have all this energy, right? Whatever the case might be, insert your product of choice there. But what happens is, you don't know what you don't know. You think that you have to hype everything up. You think that you need to be over the top when you're talking to people, that you have to convince people that how amazing your products and businesses are, that they're found in the mystic jungles and whatever the case is, right? And so, again, that doesn't really work. That's not what attracts people. That's not what people are looking for, right? The biggest thing when you're sharing your business, you want to find somebody's pain. You want to find their desires, their goals. When you come from the mindset of how can I help this person, not how can I sell this person or how can I convince this person to join my team or how can I convince this person to buy from me, right? So instead of having that mindset, instead focus on what's in it for them, right? I was having a conversation with a new team member this weekend. We had a big event out in Orlando, so that was pretty fun. I got to hang out with some of the team from across the world and everything, so that was great. But one thing that when we were talking about their invites, they were struggling, they weren't getting the results that they wanted. It really was more of a mindset that they were just trying to think solely from what's in it from their perspective, right? So the person, them, selling, the person, them, promoting their business, what's in it for them, right? Come check out my amazing cool business, or here's that link I was telling you about, you got to check this out. I want to tell you about this so you can share it with people, or I want to share this with you. Again, it's not necessarily that you'll never get results doing that. You certainly could, but at the same time, if she was coming from a mindset of, what can I do to convince them, what's in it for her, rather than what's in it for them, right? So I was like, you got to switch it up. Obviously you're still excited about your products, you're still excited about the business, but come from a mindset of how is that helping them, right? So the language she was using, I want to share this with you, I want to show you this. It was more just from like a, hey, this is awesome, I want you to see it, rather than how can I actually help this person What are their struggles? What are they looking to do? How are they looking to improve their business, right? So again, you don't know what you don't know though, right? You know, a lot of times you get started in your business, you're new, and you think of it like, oh yeah, I got to hype it up. I got to convince people. I got to tell them how amazing my products are. And again, most people don't really care, right? They care about themselves. Not to say that most people are selfish, but in a general idea, you know, most of the time, what most people are thinking about is themselves, their situation, how they can get better results, how they can, you know, reach XYZ goals, how they can make more money, how they can spend more time with their family, how they can get out of their job that they hate, how they can do whatever the case is. Again, their goals, and that's your job, right? That's your job, is to find that pain, find those needs, find those wants, and then show them how your products, how your business, how your service can help them achieve that, right? And again, though, you don't know what you don't know, where you would never really think about that even, or maybe even know to think about that without plugging into the right training, without learning from the right people, finding mentors, finding a system that you can plug into. And so again, you know, whether your company has big training events that you can plug into, or maybe you're just looking for a system, you're struggling, you're not where you want to be, you know, one thing I'd recommend if you haven't done so yet is checking out my free training that I have on my site, all about lead generation tips, some of the strategies, some of the tools in place that I use, that I help people use to scale and grow their business online. So if you want to check that out, you can do so over at coachmikemcdonald.com/LG. I actually have a free webinar over there. Just enter your name and email, you'll access it. And then it's going to go through step by step how you can generate more leads, more consistent sales, grow your team, grow your business through social media. It's going to walk you through the tools you want to have in place, some of the strategies you can use to even automate things, that and more, how to do that for your business. So again, I highly recommend checking that out over at coachmikemcdonald.com/LG. I'll actually put a link to it in the comments below this video as well when we wrap up. But yeah, guys, I'd highly recommend, you know, plug into a system. Find somebody that you can match and model, right, that has the results that you're wanting. You know, their team is growing, they're building an audience on social media, they're signing people up through social media, whatever the case might be. Maybe it's they have the conversation skills that you want, right? Maybe they do videos you like. Maybe they're great at active prospecting, right? You can have different mentors all over the place that are good at different things. You know, take what you want to achieve, take the result that they have, like I said, match and model, follow that path that they went through. And again, one thing to keep in mind too is, like, when you're looking for mentors or people to learn from, you know, find out their background, learn where they came from, because a lot of times you might run into people that maybe they skyrocket in the business, right? Not that you can't learn things from those people, but you know, I know there's people in our company that hit the top rank in like 10 months and 5 days, for example, right? But they had a lot of credibility. They had worked on themselves for years. Basically, they sharpened their axe, they sharpened their sword for years and years, and then when they found the opportunity, when they plugged in, they were able to shoot right to the top. Well, again, maybe you don't have that background, right? Maybe you were introverted, maybe you weren't in sales before, maybe you didn't have good communication skills, maybe you've never done network marketing before, maybe you've never had a home business, maybe you feel like you're not techie, right? Wherever the case is, again, find those people that have the results that you want, and then preferably have the background that you have, because again, then you can literally follow the exact same process and steps that they did. But again, if they didn't necessarily have the same background coming in as you, you can certainly still learn from them. But again, you might not be able to follow it exactly step by step, if that makes sense. So again, guys, hopefully you got some benefit and value out of this video. Always keep that in mind. You don't know what you don't know. There's always room for growth. You know, I'm not perfect, right? You know, other leaders in the industry, you know, you can't have the mindset that you know it all. Otherwise, you're just on your way back to where you came from. So again, don't forget where you came from. You don't know what you don't know. Again, focus on getting through those 4 steps. Again, like I said, unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence to unconscious competent. Sorry. See, it's even hard to say, right? So, you know, again, to conscious competence to unconscious competence, right? So you follow those steps as you go through. It's even a tongue twister. It's mind bending to even say. I've been doing it for years. But again, guys, you know, it's like follow those steps. You don't know what you don't know is where you start off. So plug into mentors, plug into a system. You can go out there and get results and grow your business. And again, if you want to plug into that free training I mentioned earlier on lead generation, I'm going to have a link to that in the comments below this video, or you can also go to coachmikemcdonald.com/LG. Again, that's coachmikemcdonald.com/LG to plug into that. But thanks again, guys, for tuning in. We'll talk to you more soon.